Hello friends, my name's Emile and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 2. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 41, but before we get into it, I just want to start off with a quick apology. Sorry for the audio on the last 3 episodes. It does that stupid thing where as soon as I speak, the game volume reduces. Now the Elgato does have a tool for that, but I keep it specifically turned off because it really irritates me. But apparently it just turns it on whenever it likes because it's the Elgato and that's what it does. Anyways, let's head over to the E-City to continue on with the one-maker races, and we are heading over to Honda today for the Civic race, as you can see there. For that, of course, we need a Honda Civic. Now, there are many different versions of Honda Civic in this game. As you can see going down here, there are millions of Civics available. There's a Civic Type R there from 1997. But I think I also saw a Cordwagon 23,000 VL or something like that. Anyways, I'm going to go for this Civic, I think, because why not? It's not the Type R, but I don't care. I'm going to go for this one. It comes in purple. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and modify this vehicle up, so I will see you guys in a second. Okay, so there we go, that is the modifications done to the Civic. We are ready to head into the Civic race, so let's, as always, start with the normal style race. Okay, we head to Tahiti Road for our first race with the legendary Honda Civic VTI with more VTEC than ever, other than Type R, which has even more VTEC than this. It sounds interesting. Anyways, so I'm going to be a bit controversial here. I like Honda Civics. In fact, I like Honda Civics a lot, and I really like this generation, the EK9. This might actually, the EK9 might actually be one of my favourite vehicles. I actually really like this car. It's always been a very good handling car when it comes to racing games. They're always pretty reliable, both in real life and on these games. You know, if you want to make a relatively decent, up to about C-Class car on Forza, Honda Civic Type R will do that for you just fine. And yeah, I really like these vehicles. I would look at actually getting an EK9 later on. These vehicles, they're kind of hard to find these days. Most of them have been riced, which is unfortunate. By the way, when I say I'm a fan of the Civic, I mean I'm a fan of this vehicle. I'm not a fan of the people who actually like Civics. You know, those who go, oh, it's Fast and Furious, bro. It isn't. You know, I don't think the Civic's the fastest car in the world. I don't say it's the best vehicle in the world. What I say is it's a very good, reliable, solid little car. With the added power of VTEC, which is just fantastic. And yeah, I'll make VTEC jokes just as much as the next guy, but I like Civics, and I know that's going to be a bit controversial. I know they're not particularly liked. I know people like to pick apart the Civics, but really, what's wrong with the Civic other than low-end torque and the people who like Civics? I mean, other than that, the vehicle's fine. I've run into several Civic haters over the years, and the most famous one for me that stands out is the guy who had an MG-ZR and then tried to call a Honda Civic crap. You drive an MG-ZR, right? For those of you guys who don't know what an MG-ZR is, it's essentially a Rover 25, which is renowned for being a awful, just boring little hatchback. It wasn't actually that bad of a car, to be perfectly honest with you, but it's just a boring car for mostly pensioners. And then MG basically put it in some mad colours, put some body kits on them, and then OAP still bought them, and now occasionally some young kids have them. So yeah, I'm sorry mate, you can't say anyone's car's crap if you drive an MG-ZR. No offence to anyone driving an MG-ZR, I'm sure they're okay to drive and everything, but I mean, come on, really? You're gonna try and beat someone down over a car while you drive that? I will say the hubcaps on this one are absolutely hideous. I don't know what the hell they are. Anyways, we get 5 grand, and now it's time to race the Civic, also known as racing modifications. Okay, so let's go ahead and head over back to the tuning shop and get some racing modification on this Civic. Now, it's not the most fancy racing modification, it still isn't bad. But there you go, that's it. It's okay, I guess. I'm going to have it I'm going to have it in white and red because I kind of like that. I wish you could get like white and blue or something like that, but I'll take white and red, that's fine. Also, just as a quick thing, the Civic is one of about 3 cars in this game where you can increase the displacement on it. And you can do that on either the Type R or this Civic here. Anyways, just thought I would share that with you guys. Anyways, let's head back over to the Civic race and now do the racing style race. Okay, we are at the Deep Forest Raceway for our next event with the Civic, and it appears that everyone in this race has got exactly the same car as I do. Okay, slightly awkward. His is in silver. That's the Type R. The Type R is a bit of a crap racing mod, to be honest with you. That one's... I don't like that one on that Fiero Civic, and of course there's another white and red one up there. Now, one of the Civics, I believe it's the 93 hatchback, you can get a really awesome design on it. It's like red, yellow and green. I think it was a touring car design. And you actually saw it appear in the Super Touring Car Cup. It was one of the faster vehicles when we was doing that. And I was sort of tempted to use that Civic. I decided to go with the EK9 just because I prefer the EK9 Civics. They're sort of my favourite generation of Civic. However, I'm kind of hoping I can track down 93 and I might use it in like the Japanese Nationals or something like that. Because, I mean, the hilarious thing is, like, even though we're looking at 100 episodes, there's still probably more than 100 cars I want to show off in this game. Because there's just so many unique and interesting vehicles in this game. And there's like loads of super interesting ones we haven't even got into. Like the Mazda 323. Both the GT Turbo, the 323F Coupe, they're all in this game. They all look fantastic. You know, there's just several vehicles I want to use in this Let's Play. So... yeah, I don't know. When we head over to the arcade mode, I may use some of the vehicles out of my garage when I'm doing that, just to sort of stem the tide, because the garage in the arcade mode is okay. You know, there's 1 or 2 interesting vehicles in there, but it's mostly just the sort of stuff you'd find in most other racing games of the time, and in the case of some vehicles, still find in racing games to these days. These Civics are really keeping up, and it appears the old Civic is actually the quickest of them. Gonna be honest, I probably should have gone with the Type R, because the Type R you can actually get a little bit more power out of, I think. This only has 240 brake horsepower, by the way. I could have turbocharged it, but I decided to NA tune it, just because it's a Civic. And, yeah, turbocharging Civics, not something they were really built for, other than the brand new 2016 Civic Type R. Which still isn't in a Forza Motorsport game or any other game that I actually own, so I can't drive it yet. Yes, it's in Drive Club, but I don't want Drive Club, so... I don't want Drive Club at all, unless I ended up getting a PS4, which I probably won't because no decent games on it. And GT Sport has about 200 cars and is basically GT7 Prologue, and I'm not particularly interested in that either, so... yeah. Anyways, that is gonna be it in a second with, there we go, with the Civic, this particular Civic. Anyways, what finished, okay, so the 93 Fiero wasn't too far behind, but we didn't do too bad. We beat 2 Type Rs, so, hold up, what would, oh, do they have the same racing modification? Okay, apparently the Type R and the VTI have the same racing modification if it's the 97 Type R. A little bit strange, but there you go. Anyways, we win 7,000 credits. Yay. And I will see you guys in a second. Okay, so there we go. That is the Civic race completed. No more Honda Civics for now. Anyways, in the next episode, guys, we're going to be beating the beat, as it's time for the Beats One Make race. So join me for that. Anyways, friends, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been The Real Emile, and until next time, farewell.